Welcome back after the break to Insurance Mantra in our Expert Speak segment. Today I am joined by Mahavir Chopra, founder of Beshak.org, a leading independent insurance knowledge platform. We'll talk about how digital platforms are simplifying insurance, helping customer make informed decisions and bringing more trust and transparency to the industry. Thank you so much, Mahavir ji, for joining our show, Insurance Mantra. As we said that transparency and trust in insurance, so do you think that after 2 decades of opening up of insurance, trust deficit is still there for first-time insurance buyer or public at large?
Yeah, so it is kind of disappointing, but when I say this, and a lot of people may not like when I say this, but yes, trust deficit is quite high even today in the insurance space, and I am seeing it in my lens. I am seeing it only increasing day by day, and that's largely because of the amplification that happens through social media.
Okay.
Right. Let's say 10 years ago, meaning if there was a complaint that a customer had, he would maybe go and write to a newspaper, or write to a journalist, or try to amplify it through that medium. Now customers have social media in their hands. I've had a recent example of someone who had just 300 followers on Twitter, and he had a complaint with an insurance company, and he wrote a complaint in a very detailed manner, and it got 1 million views. Right. So when this happens, the amplification happens through social media, and so many people, 1 million people are seeing this happening, that a customer is not happy with insurance. That's when trust deficit only increases.
Yes,
right?
trust deficit.
And bad news obviously spreads more in the social media, right? And
yes.
Like we have tried on a lot of times, we've tried on social media to ask customers that, can you share good experiences about insurance, right? And nobody comes forward. Right, to share good experiences. ऐसा हो नहीं सकता कि there are no good experiences.
I will share my personal experience. Once I was traveling in Mumbai local,
right,
and I just randomly decided to do a reality check because there was a launch of Achha Kiya Insurance Liya campaign, and advertisement was all over the city. So I just decided, and I took out my phone, and in my local train, I spoke to around 17 people.
Right.
So 80% were positive views only. So that was a surprise for me also.
Right.
That might be a coincidence.
Right.
But most of them were saying that we got our claim. Means they were at that time the GST issue was there, that 18% was pinching. So that was my experience, the impromptu experience. Yeah. There are in our shows also we get few complaints, but you rightly said that social media post amplifies it. But sir, in that because in policyholders always think that I should get the complete claim without knowing the complete details.
Absolutely.
So that should also be remembered.
Right. So like when a claim gets rejected, right? Or there is a major deduction that happens, right? Or let's say even forget those two things. Let's say there is a big increase in the premium, right? These things come on social media, right? When these things come on social media, they come because there is no clear explanation of what has happened behind whatever rejection or action the insurance company has taken. So my view is that the communication that goes from the insurance company to the customer has to become more comprehensive, more detailed. Maybe there should be, if possible, right? Meaning we spend so much money to call customers when they want to buy a policy. Similarly, can there be a very empathetic call to a customer who has a rejection to tell that person why the claim got rejected?
Okay.
Right? Like I get so many friends who have claim rejections, right? When they explain to them that this is the problem, this claim cannot be paid. They ask me to baat kar le kisse. I tell them that it's not payable.
Not payable.
It's not payable.
Deduction is there, or room limit is there. So
when they hear that, then they understand it, right? So it's all coming down to communication, and communication is coming down to trust, right? Meaning these are the two things. If you see that if someone is able to drive trust and then is able to communicate about whatever happened during that claim and why it is not payable, then there will be lesser angst in customers to go to social media. You and I don't spend that much time on social media. You go to social media as a frustration. Right? I will try all my luck. I will try everything possible to first solve the complaint through the normal medium.
Normal medium.
But if it doesn't happen, then I will feel कि अभी मैं social media पे लिखता हूँ, right?
But the IRDA data is showing that in 1 lakh, in 1 lakh customer, there are only 6 complaints are there. So do you agree with that data, or customers are not complaining to Bima Bharosa portal or to companies only?
So we will have to first understand the definition of a complaint, right?
Okay.
I currently do not have clarity in terms of when a complaint is called a complaint.
Okay.
Right. For example, is an email that goes to a CEO's email box called a complaint or not?
Okay.
Right. Does it only emails that go to a customer service email address are called complaints? So registration of complaints also, I don't think is basically having the right interpretation today.
Okay.
Right? In my view, and hence the numbers are all subject to interpretation.
Subject
in my
to
view.
interpretation. That's
See,
why.
I'm not here to say that there is a problem and there is a narrative in social media that insurance is not paying claims. That needs to be fought by the industry. I've been in this space for good 2 decades, and I have seen so many claims get paid myself. Right?
Yes, yes.
But I also see that customers who have had grievances do not get right responses at the right time. And that basically mismatch is causing all the distrust. So insurance industry should come forward, first come out of this denial that there is no trust problem, right? That there is no problem. And then basically accept the fact that there is a trust deficit. And in the younger audience, there is a trust deficit, right? So when we talk about this train audience, right, that you said, I just have a difference of opinion there that you talk to the younger audience who is now your first customer, right? जिसने 10 साल से policy लेके रखी है, that person probably has seen a claim. But what about a customer who's young and 24, 25 years today, and he's not currently understood insurance, and he's only seeing negative news about
Negative news. So he will go away from the...
Exactly. And it breaks our heart, right? I'm not saying this as something that I'm very happy to say this, right? It actually breaks our heart that I've spent so much time in this industry, but still we see customers who say that I will save on my own. Right? मैं मेरी खुद की फंड बनाऊंगा, and I will basically I don't want to basically trust on insurance companies के terms and conditions के कब वो decide करेगा पे करेगा नहीं करेगा.
And then terms and condition can be simplified, so it's very easy to understand for policy holders and especially for the newcomers, because terms and conditions are only so much complicated that many people can't understand.
Right. It is almost next to impossible. It's like taxation.
Taxation.
Right? कि मतलब हम सीखना चाहे भी तो भी it becomes very difficult to understand, and it keeps getting updated. Now with basically use and file coming into picture, where insurance companies can change products and terms and conditions whenever they want, it's become so dynamic that it's very difficult for a customer to get grip of terms and conditions. Right? तो पहले तो terms and conditions complex थे, वो एक part था. Now it is also dynamic.
Dynamic.
Right? So that is also causing a lot of complexities, and that's why, meaning it has come to a level where you will now need an expert basically to deal with insurance, in meaning where you will need someone who has a grip on a day-to-day basis. Like say tax में you deal with a CA, and that person has a grip over what is going on in the taxation industry. कल क्या circular आया, that person should know.
Yeah.
Right? It is coming to that level today.
And sir, what more solutions can be there from insurance companies' point of that they can offer to customers, so there's this negativity or that trust deficit can be completed?
Right. So one of the major things that I see which needs to be curbed completely is underwriting at the time of claims.
Okay.
So what that means is basically that customers are given a very good red carpet treatment when they have to buy a policy. कि सर मेडिकल टेस्ट भी मत करो, सर अब पॉलिसी अभी मिल जाएगी, your policy will get issued in 5 minutes. All that happens, right? At the time of claims, questions are asked, and the burden of proof is completely on the customer. Okay, you did not say this, now you prove that this did not happen, right? That power imbalance is very big today.
Okay.
The customer is basically told that the policy is very easy, very simple at the time of purchase. At the time of claims, that person is not talking to you. They are talking to someone else who's now giving you a rule book and telling you that देखो ये 4 reason है आपका claim pay नहीं होगा, and also saying that you forgot this, right? That entire burden of proof on the customer कि आप सब कुछ बताओ, आपका everything you need to inform, somehow has to get reduced gradually, because without that, smallest of mistakes that a customer makes, right, which is something which is probably an innocent mistake also, is leading to not only policy claims cancellation, but also policy cancellation today, right? तो ये जो धक्का है ना, this is the biggest shock a customer gets, that I paid premiums for 10 years, and then suddenly I made a claim after 10 years, and then there is no trust from the insurance company कि शायद मैं भूल गया,
Yes.
right? I did not inform something.
The
and my claims are
recent
getting
issue
cancelled.
of the material clause also.
Yes.
So in that condition means a customer is also supposed to give complete information to insurance company?
Absolutely. See, when buying the policy, the customer has to give the complete information to the insurance company, but it has to be simplified for the customer to be able to give that information. Agar, if the customer has to be educated enough about why this information has to be given, see how the policies are sold. Like you should try it yourself. Maybe you just call up anybody and try to buy a policy. Policies are sold very fast.
Very fast.
There has to be some restrictions put there to ensure that the declarations are made in a very due diligent manner, right? Which is not happening today. Sales first industry ban gayi hai on one side, and when a claim comes at that time it completely changes its avatar and then now becomes a profit first industry.
Okay.
Right.
So this is also due to the high commissions involved?
So commissions are high today for sure, meaning they can be, but the reason why they are high is because there is trust deficit. Second, the product is very difficult to understand. When these two things are put together, the person who has to sell the policy, for that person, the amount of effort that is required is very high.
Yeah.
Right? तो उसके effort का ये return उसको basically देना पड़ रहा है. If you reduce the trust deficit, customers start buying policies faster. Right? And if you reduce the complexity of the policy and the customer understands the policy quickly, then the effort to sell the policy reduces. Right? If the effort reduces, the agent will say that आप दे दो मुझे कम commission.
कम commission.
It is becoming very difficult to sell. Like a normal customer takes around 30 to 40 days to decide on a policy today.
Another new concept also means that there is an argument that okay, go for a do it yourself. Don't go for a direct plan. Don't give this much commission to intermediary or the agent.
Right.
But that is advisable because at the time of claim, you may suffer.
Yeah. See, whatever said and done, at the time of claim, the insurer cannot be 100% on your side. Right? Claim ke time pe, the insurer has to save that money. Right? There is a conflict of interest. I have to save the money. I have to give you claims. That means I have to book a loss. So there is a conflict of interest. And for you to basically solve that conflict of interest will only happen when you have someone on your side or you yourself become that expert.
Okay.
Right.
So it's
मतलब या तो आप खुद expert बन जाओ, आप सब कुछ सीख लो and you fight with
which
the
is not
insurance
possible,
company,
sir.
which is very difficult. And on the other side, if you can't do that, then you basically have someone who is completely, abreast with what is going on in the industry, knows how to talk to the insurance company. That way. That is how it has become today.
Okay, sir. So yeah, short of time, sir. Thank you so much for joining our Insurance Mantra show and sharing your all insights.